What's going on, everybody? GemMint here. Happy new comic book day. It's Wednesday, September 8th, and it was a huge week for comics. Well, really for the big two. It was kind of light for the indies, at least for the stuff that I'm reading. But as always, I'm going to go through this week's comics as spoiler-free as possible. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button if you're enjoying these videos, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss one. We're going to tackle all of these books, but first, a quick word from our sponsor, Cheap Graphic Novels. Cheap Graphic Novels is your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They pride themselves on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain bin for even greater deals up to 90% off cover price. CGN is excited to announce that they're now taking pre-orders. They're making it easier for you to ensure that you don't miss out on the hottest releases. Cheap Graphic Novels is currently running a special promotion for the Geminites. If you're a first-time customer, let them know that you were referred by Mint Collectibles at checkout and you'll receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. This promotion is only valid for the United States. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts and quality shipping and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. Alright guys, so if you saw my new comic book day reviews last week, you know I missed 3 titles. I only ended up getting one of them, which was Lucky Devil Issue 2 from Dark Horse by Cullen Bunn, Fran Galan, and El Torres. Wow, absolutely love this story. You have this guy, this loser of a guy who gets possessed by a demon, giving him all types of supernatural abilities and forcing him to kill a bunch of people. Now, when he exorcises the demon, he accidentally keeps the powers, and the demon is stuck without powers outside in his own body now. Issue 2 takes a crazy twist, turn of events like Fight Club style. This guy building a cult for himself, and it gets really crazy. I'm digging it. I think this is my favorite Cullen Bunn story so far ever. Really digging this one. And then with Image, I don't know why I bought this one physically. I get the PDFs of the Image stuff, and I don't have the physical copy for issue 1. But The Me You Love in the Dark, issue 2, Scotty Young, George Corona, Jean-Francois Beaulieu, and Nate Picos. Really dug this one too. I liked issue 1. It's kind of like Casper, but with this middle-aged female artist who moves into this haunted house. This one is all about her conversation with the ghost or the demon or whatever's haunting the house. So it's really interesting. You can kind of see what the title means here. It's like they're literally falling in love during this issue, and you know, he's giving her inspiration to paint, which is really why she went to the house to begin with. So really dark, gritty art style. I like how they play with the music notes. Like when she's playing music from her iPhone, you can kind of see the notes floating throughout the house. The way that they have this ghost interacting with her is really cool as well. Great series so far. Moving on over to Dark Horse, we have May's book. Well, I guess Dark Horse for this week. May's book by Jeff Lemire, written and illustrated by, what a sad story, man. It was almost borderline depressing. It's basically this guy who's just going through the motions of life, seemingly has lost his daughter. His daughter must have been killed or taken away or something at the age of like 10 or 13, something very young. He's 50 years old. He's just waking up every day, taking a shower, going to work, coming home, rinse and repeat, depressed basically. I probably wouldn't have even considered picking up the next issue if it wasn't for that hook at the end, which ties into the title, this maze book. Why is the daughter in the center of this seemingly maze? That's the hook, and that's what we got to see what happens next issue. Kind of giving me a Sweet Tooth vibes with, the cover here. I think Jeff Lemire did some of the covers for Sweet Tooth. Anyway, sad, but it's worth it. Moving on over to Marvel, we're going to go with ShangChi issue 4. This is by Jean Luyện Yang, Dyke Ruan, and Triona Farrell. So, really hits harder after seeing the movie. I really like how they established in the movie the same type of background from the comics. Basically, Shang-Chi is part of this dynasty. His father has this clan, which is really like a bad organization. Shang-Chi is a hero. But in this run, he is the leader of that organization, so it's really causing a rift between him and the heroes. He's kind of having to do questionable things, and in this scenario, he's going to try to find his childhood home. He keeps seeing visions of it. Turns out it's in the negative zone, which is why we have Fantastic Four on the cover. Now, Fantastic Four, not really willing to work with him so quickly, and they have to take matters into their own hands, Shang-Chi and his sisters and the clan and everything. So this has been a fun run so far, man. We're on to issue 4. I've been digging each issue, and I think next issue is Iron Man. Each one has been tying in with a familiar Marvel hero, which I think is smart too, to really kind of brand ShangChi as a Marvel hero that you should be reading. Amazing Spider-Man issue 73. Kind of an interesting book. We're past Sinister War. Now it's no more big brawls. It's really revelations, retconning stuff that people hated in Spider-Man lore. Stuff with Harry and with Norman Osborn and Gwen Stacy. Stuff from like the J. Michael Straczynski run. It reminded me of like 90s Spider-Man stuff, the death of Harry and what Spectacular Spider-Man 200. Like, it's calling back to all those things, setting up what Harry has been planning, how he became Kindred and all that kind of stuff. Also tying in with One More Day stuff, which seems like we're getting that in the next Spider-Man movie as well. I kind of see what you guys are doing. Spencer's run might end up on a high note if they can fix some of that Norman Osborn, Gwen Stacy stuff, fix One More Day. It might have all been worth it. On to Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil issue 34. He's joined by Landini and Menez. I thought this was a strong issue. I'm reminded why Daredevil became the king of the prison and what they were doing to the prisoners and experimenting on them. We have Elektra with the bullseyes, teaming up with Typhoid Mary. So this is going out with a bang as well. This is part 4 of the lockdown run. This run ends in a few months, so Zdarsky's going to get to the finale soon. It's been a great ride, hoping for an omnibus, great artwork, interesting character work, and Matt Murdock finally interacting again with a character that I really dug from the beginning of this run. So nice to see that come full circle. All right, y'all. Time for some extreme carnage. We're talking the Toxin issue. This is part 6 out of 8. I've been loving this mini-series so much. Each issue focusing on a different Life Foundation symbiote. In this case, the spawn of Carnage. So Toxin, who has a new host. Basically, Carnage is kind of like a low-level Null now. He's trying to control what symbiotes remain in the hive mind, and Toxin ain't having it. Carnage offspring is not having it, battling Carnage in the Mindscape, tying into Agony, which I don't think we've had an Agony issue yet, have we? And Silence with Anti-Venom. So been having a ton of fun with this issue. 2 more parts left to finish the run, and excited to see what the finale is and what it leads to. Then we got X-Force 23. This one is by Benjamin Percy, Kokolo, and Guru EFX. I really did like this issue. X-Force and Wolverine have been like really hit or miss for me. They've had really strong issues. They've had obligatory tie-in issues. But this one was a cool Beast story. What is this being that he captured? This guy that basically... How do I even explain this, man? Like, if you chop off his finger will turn into a little person of him. Gets inside of Beast, and Beast now has this dilemma, and he's skeptical about the resurrection protocol, so he doesn't want to just die and get resurrected. Beast has been acting off for a long time. I think it was even prior to the Hoxpox era, but I like how they tie it back to Black Tom Cassidy and his little green man. I think, was that from Empire? I'm pretty sure it was from Empire. It was a fun issue, man. I did enjoy X-Force this week. All right, on to Defenders issue 2. This is by Al Ewing and Javier Rodriguez. I dug this issue. First of all, Javier Rodriguez channeling his trad more. I feel like it has a similar type of art style, which really works for anything Silver Surfer, Doctor Strange. And this one's called The Mother of Galactus. So Galactus is the last being from the prior reality to ours, which is the 7th. We're in the 7th reality, so Galactus is from the 6th reality. So we end up going to the 6th reality, battling the Galactus from the 5th reality. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it was kind of like that Silver Surfer dilemma. Like, do you kill baby Thanos so he doesn't become Thanos? Do you kill Hitler so he doesn't become Hitler? Similar with Galactus here. I dug it. Trippy art style. The story was interesting. Issue 1 was like a team build-up thing, but I felt like issue 2 was really solid. It kind of set the tone for where we're going to go with this series. Huge week for DC, guys. We're going to start with the DC Black Label oversized magazine cover. Suicide Squad Get Joker issue 2. Wow. Love this issue. Brian Azzarello with Maleev and Hollingsworth. This was super strong. So we didn't get any Joker in issue 1. Joker's here. He's all in the mix in this issue, and it's almost like Jared Leto Joker, but it really works. Amanda Waller out of commission. Joker's got the box. He's basically holding the Suicide Squad's life in his hands, making Harley Quinn do like a strip tease bit and everything. Super solid. Red Hood leading this Suicide Squad. Kind of a little nod at the end here I don't really want to spoil it. You know what I'm talking about. I'm loving this series, man. Then we're on to Crushing Lobo, issue 4 out of 8. This is written by Tamaki, joined by Nal Hupan and Bon Villain. This series is fun. I've been digging this one. I like the dialogue. The narration is well done here. The characters feel witty. I feel like when Crush is dealing with the Lobo stuff, that's where it really shines. When it deals with the relationship stuff, it just feels a little too tacky and corny for me. But Lobo, he's a real piece of work, man. He switches places with his daughter so he can escape prison. She's stuck in prison. So now this issue is basically her trying to convince everybody that she's not Lobo, but nobody believes her. And she's got to break out of here. How can she break out? Who's the only one that can track down Lobo if it's not another Zarzarian? Is that how you pronounce it? Zarnian, I think it is. All right, then we have The Conjuring, The Lover. This is also DC, DC Horror, actually. Issue 4 out of 5. Man, so there's a main story and then there's like a little backup story. The main story is super sad. This girl that she's not possessed, she's being haunted by this being, finally forcing her out of college. And the being, the spirit or whatever, can inhabit other people, make it seem like they're attacking her, and she will attack them. So man, it's like super sad, depressing. You feel bad for this character, even in just such a short series where she doesn't get a lot of development. It's just the things that are happening to her that you're just like, man, I hope she can get rid of this damn demon. What was the backup story here? Oh, the backup story was another kind of story of like a mother losing her child. Kind of has like, the baby must have had SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome or something like that. But she's drinking a lot, she's depressed, and starts to blame her husband, accusing him of murdering the baby. So like a couple page short story, also really dark, but hey, it's DC horror. All right, guys, on to Swamp Thing, issue 7 out of 10, Ron V with Perkins and Spicer. I love Mike Spicer's coloring, man. So great issue, man. Suicide Squad's trying to weaponize Swamp Thing. They're trying to capture Swamp Thing and make him a part of the team, but that's way easier said than done. So this issue spends some time between the Suicide Squad story and Levi, the new Swamp Thing, and tying back to his past with his parents and how they were really like more spiritual and earth-based, and he was always like scientist thinking, progressive. Let's just bulldoze this old forest and make a multiplex kind of guy. So it's tying it in with that. He's having flashbacks and regrets. Great artwork, great paneling, great storytelling. We're really learning about this stuff while one of the Suicide Squad members is attacking him in the only place that you could really defeat him, which is his heart and his emotions. And then you got the whole chemo guy basically plowing through the forest, totally destroying everything on his way to defeat or try to defeat Swamp Thing. So it was a solid issue, as all of them have been. Then we got Blue and Gold, issue 2 out of 8. This is by Dan Jurgens. He's joined by Sook. Super fun, man. I don't know what it is about this series. When they start live streaming their events, you feel like this anxiety. It starts like moving faster. You're reading all the comments live while they're battling these people and trying to make a name for themselves. I love the dynamic between Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. Dan Jurgens making fun of himself and really kicking back to like the death of Superman and things of that nature. So I think that's kind of funny that he's not taking himself too seriously on things that Blue Beetle and Booster Gold can do to make themselves more popular. And the whole kind of Blue Beetle knowing the Justice League really only wanted him, didn't want Booster Gold, Booster not knowing that, and that's kind of going to blow up in his face at the end of the issue here. So I had a lot of fun with this one. All right, then we got Batman issue 112. We're in the Fear State. This is by Tynion, George Jimenez, and Maury. The artwork is spectacular here. I mean, every page has something interesting to look at. Some of this feels like some overlapping from the Fear State Alpha, but it's cool to see Batman beaten and damaged. Somehow Scarecrow got in his brain, harming him more than the toxins ever could. Him trying to call for help. And it's kind of weird seeing Batman needing so much help. Call Ghostmaker. Call my allies. Like, it seems like he's really weak in this issue. I guess he's just overwhelmed. I guess they're trying to establish the power that Scarecrow has in this Fear State. Loving the whole Magistrate, the rise of the Magistrate, the Peacekeeper, and how he's kind of gone off the rails, and they have to create a Peacekeeper X to just try to keep Peacekeeper 1 at bay. It's fun, man. It's fun. It's interesting. I think the Harley stuff was really fun. I like how they made fun of Poison Ivy, saying that she went feral. And now she's this Queen Ivy under the sewers of Gotham, implanted into the bedrock. it's fun and interesting stuff in Batman these days. All right, then we have Joker, the Puzzle Box, issue 2. This is by Rosenberg, Marino, Grant, Donnie, Areola, and Cox. I didn't like this one as much as I liked issue 1. Basically, the Gotham City Police Department are interviewing other people now. The first issue was really just the Joker interview, but now we're having like a little Black Mask backstory, and then we have a Harley Quinn kind of flashback story here, all trying to figure out who killed one of Batman's main villains. So that's where this story is going. I don't feel like this issue really progressed the story much. The artwork was just okay. I didn't really love it though. All right, guys, over to Batman Catwoman issue 7. This is by Tom King and Liam Sharp. Shout out to Liam Sharp. Not the same type of art style that we're seeing on Batman Reptilian, more of a pencil look than a painted look. But I really dug this issue, man. Passionate stuff with Batman and Catwoman. I mean, I missed out on the Batman Tom King run that everybody seems to hate, but I was digging this stuff, man. This kind of whole Catwoman, allegedly killed Joker way in the future, and kind of going back to her plotting that out, and the relationship with Bruce, like you're having sex one moment, then you're locking him up in the bank without the key so that she can go kill the Joker, her working with Phantasm to try to do so connecting the 3 timelines seemingly here. And I guess that's where we're going to end towards the end of this series, because now we're connecting like the Batman Catwoman relationship, Catwoman and Phantasm, that's kind of mixing here, and then we're going to link to the future where Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle are married. They have a daughter. She's the Batgirl now. Doesn't approve of her mother. Artwork is incredible in this series, man. I've been digging this one. This issue was one of the stronger ones too. All right, then we have the conclusion of Infinite Frontier, issue 6 out of 6 by Williamson, Armancio, and Ferraro Jr. So, although I was having trouble keeping up with the storyline here, I really like this last issue. It's like the big finale, setting up all these different things, this Darkseid Prime, these other events that are going to happen in the DC universe. The artwork was great throughout this issue. Kind of love how it's setting the precedence for everything moving forward in DC. Like, everybody is aware of the multiverse. You're getting imported, like, drinks and stuff from other universes, wondering, like, is my Superman as good as this Superman kind of thing. It's interesting. It was fun. It was big. The storyline for me, like I've been saying throughout, has been a little bit hard to follow. I think you got to kind of be hardcore DC universe knowledge to really grasp everything that's going on here, but I held it down. I enjoyed it and excited to see where it goes in the future. All right, then we have the Suicide Squad Annual 2021 by Thompson, Soy, Pansica, Ferreira, and Sotomayor. Superboy versus Superboy. I thought this was cool. The Superboy that we've been following from Suicide Squad with the 90s Superboy, and a lot of interesting revelations with our Superboy and what are his origins. Who is he really? Now, I don't really know the character who he ends up being revealed as. Maybe you guys in the comments can help me out. Where does that even come from? I really dug the annual. It wasn't a bunch of short stories. It was just one complete story that was really essential for the run, introducing what happens in issue 7 of Suicide Squad, which is by Thompson, Pansica, Ferreira, and Mayalo. What is this guy named? Bug something? Hold on. That's right, Ambush Bug. I really dug Ambush Bug. This was my first time reading anything by him. It's like a Deadpool character. He breaks the fourth wall. He knows he's in a comic. He's foretelling what's going to happen in the end of this issue to other characters that are like, what are you talking about? Meanwhile, come to find out, they're not even in a real reality because Waller's got them in some type of paradise dimension, putting them on timeout, seemingly. The artwork is great in this series, especially this issue. It feels like superhero fun, directly spilling over from that annual, how Jonathan Kent feels now, knowing who he really is and what he really is, and working with the Suicide Squad team. I had fun with this one. Then we got Black Manta, issue 1. This is a 6-issue limited series by Brown, DeLeandro, and Luis. I liked the tone of it. I liked the narration. I liked the Black Manta character, this villain who's kind of, human and has, emotions and feelings and regrets and wondering about his legacy, but not really much happens in this issue, man. They kind of set up this bad guy. They set up the plot, but it's kind of forgettable. I didn't really have that much fun. It wasn't a chore to read. I thought it read pretty smoothly. I'll pick up issue 2 to see where it goes, but it wasn't really that exciting. All right, guys, then on to my pick of the week, and I don't think it was even close, man. Nice House on the Lake, issue 4, James Tynion the 4th. He's joined by Alvaro Martinez Bueno and Jordi Belair. I feel like this is the kind of stuff you're going to get with Tiny and Substack. I mean, these aren't any characters that we know. It's just an awesome situational event. And we learn a lot here. We learn what happens when the pantry gets low. How do they get food? How do they get supplies? It does kind of follow a new character, this kind of comedian type character, a character who kind of picks up more than what he lets on, which kind of gives him an advantage in life. Flashing back briefly to his interactions with Walter. Big revelations at the end of this issue on what the rules are in the house and the reality that they live in now. I like how they keep referring to everything as alien. I feel like Walter's an alien too, but again, still a little unclear. The most fun I had throughout this entire week of all these issues. I'm loving this series. It's super interesting. I think it goes on hiatus after issue 6 or so, which really sucks. But man, you guys got to be reading Nice House on the Lake. Wait for the trade if you've already missed the single issues, but it's definitely worth reading. And that's it, guys. The new comic book day reviews for this week. Luckily, I got all these really early. I think I got everything on Friday or Saturday, which really helped because this would have been a tough stack to read Tuesday afternoon to drop it for you guys on Wednesday. Let me know what your favorite comics were in the comments down below, or which issues are you looking the most forward to. Make sure to check us out this Saturday with Rock and Robbie. We'll count down our top 10 favorites. Sometimes it's a lot of the same books, sometimes they're completely different. Like I said, if you're digging the videos, hit that like button. It's so important for the algorithm. I think more important than anything else, really. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video, and check out my new comic book day reviews from last week if you missed them, the top 10 from last week as well, and stay minty fresh. Peace.